I'm going to go straight to the front of the Australian and I'm going to have a look at the splash. Soldiers were left waiting. Defence records reveal state repeatedly refused ADF help for COVID quarantine hotels. Now, this will probably put a bit of perspective around what's going on, the argy-bargy between the federal government and the Victorian government at the moment about whose responsibility it was. And we will get to the front of the age next. And there's a bit of backside covering going on down there as well. At least 100 Defence Force personnel were ready to enforce compliance at Victoria's quarantine hotels, but were not deployed to assist with the bungle program, now blamed for fueling the state's deadly second wave of COVID-19. Defence Department records show a timeline of engagement between Defence Headquarters and 6 ADF liaison officers stationed at Emergency Management Victoria from March 21 shows the officers repeatedly conveyed that authorities in the state would not be taking up the kind of ADF assistance with hotel quarantine that was rendered in New South Wales and Queensland. Game, set, match, Caleb Bond.
Indeed, it completely contradicts what Daniel Andrews has said, which is no, there were no offers, we didn't refuse anything, it never happened, and the ADF has directly refuted that. And look, you've got to pick a side. Either you think the ADF is lying or you think Daniel Andrews is lying. And something tells me that the ADF is a reasonably non-partisan organisation and that it has no reason to try and throw Daniel Andrews under the bus by fabricating its offers to the Victorian government. So the question then becomes, why did they refuse it? And it would seem to be, as we found out last week, that government departments decided that we should have private people looking after security guards, looking after these hotels, thanks to some kind of inclusion and employment policy. There's suggestions that the union was leaning on Daniel Andrews and saying we need work for our people, and so they didn't take the offer of the ADF assistance, which we now know they did offer, and Daniel Andrews can't dance around that. They didn't use police, they used private security guards. And it is such a bad look for Daniel Andrews to be out there saying this never happened, we didn't refuse any offers, the offers weren't there, when the ADF has very clearly said they were. And if Daniel wants to come out and pretend that they didn't get the emails, I don't know, that's up to him. But he's got a very difficult task ahead of him to make his way back from this, because he has been shown completely red-faced.